2 1 2. Welcome back to another video. This video I will be making up the inner boxing plates for the C-notch conversion. Basically what that is I'm turning the original C-notch or C-shaped chassis, which is basically like that, and mounting a plate onto it like that to strengthen up the chassis, because I am cutting the original chassis, and as part of engineering requirements I need to box it to put strength back into the chassis so the car doesn't fall apart going down the highway and passes inspection. The inner boxing plates will be made up of 3 parts. It'll be the inner C-notch plates that I was given with the kit, plus another boxing section which goes from the C-notch plate forward of the chassis, and I've got some steel cut out for the rear part of the C-notch. I'll show you in the video later on what parts I'm talking about. This is not going to be too long of a video because I've been away for a few weeks. I've got a few days at home, stinking hot weather, so I'm not going to be in the shed every day, and then I've got to go away for work again. So this is basically just a quick video on an update of the C-notching. Rightio, getting back into the C-notching and chassis work. I've done a fair bit of work off camera. I do tend to do that. I start getting into working and then forget to record some of the stuff. So this is basically what I've done today. The inner C-notch plates, I've cut out some spaces and just tacked them to the inner C-notch plates. That's to give me the 50mm spacing between the 2 plates. I just used a bit of 50mm square tube for that, and I cut 4 of them out, so I got 2 at the top and 1 at the bottom on each side, and then I've levelled them all up so they're all nice and level, all square, everything like that. Then I started getting the forward boxing piece ready. Here's one over here for the driver's side. I did actually cut a piece off the end of it because it was far too long and it was actually starting to interfere with a cross member further up that was under the cab, so I've cut that off. And on the one that's in the chassis at the moment, I've had to trim some of this off to give it a bit of clearance to actually slide into the chassis. I'm just waiting on an email back from the engineer to see if I can lap weld the 2 pieces together, or if he wants me to cut them and fit them flush and do butt welds with fish plates behind it. So basically I'm still continuing on my method of doing one side first, getting that to fit all nice and neatly before starting on the other side. There is a little bit of a hazard in doing that because the chassis on this side may not be exact on this side, so I'm kind of taking a little bit of a gamble, but I'm hoping the differences won't be too much. This whole inner piece, including the rear boxing piece, I'm putting it, sort of just mocking it up and putting it all together so I can actually take it out, get the welder to weld everything on the inside of the chassis, and then possibly do the welding on the C-notch plate and the boxing plates, and then we're going to put them back in and weld it all in permanently. What I still have to do is a bit of fab work on this end. As you can see, the two plates don't line up exact, so going to have to trim a bit off both sides to actually have it looking like factory, or at least look like it's done properly. This side I'm going to have to work the chassis and flatten all that out, because between there and there isn't quite 50mm, so I want to flatten all of this out so I can put the rear boxing plate in and have that all ready to go. Righto, I've finished the rough fabricating of the inner box plate. There's 3 pieces there, so still got to join them all together, but basically I've placed them in situ to see how they look, and I reckon it's going to fit pretty well. Just might need a bit of minor adjustment after I weld these pieces together. I'm just going to tack them for now and have it all ready, and maybe put some fish plates on the inside of the 2 joins there, so it just adds a bit more strength. Once that's done, I'll start working on the top. This is the passenger side, so still have to do the driver's side, so I'll tack this one up first, get that all done, and then I'll start working on the driver's side. Test 1 2. Rightio, got the driver's side inner boxing plate done. As you can see, there's a join there, but I've put in a supporting fish plate at the back. It's in a diamond shape. You can see by the discoloration there on the steel. I've welded in a diamond fish plate on both the joins, ran it past my engineer, and he's basically said I'm right on the verge of going too strong, so from now on I've got to be careful on what other pieces I weld in, because inherently if I make all of this part too strong, the original chassis from here forward is going to be under stress. That was his explanation, so he's the man, so I'm going by whatever he says. Basically I also heated that little spot there. As you can see here, there is a bit of a kick in the chassis, so I've heated both sides and just bent this part in a little bit to follow the line of the chassis. Also, you'll see I've got these spacers tacked onto the inner plates there. All they're there for is to give me the correct spacing for the top and the bottom plates. They're tacked in at the moment, but I'm going to grind them off, and I'm just going to weld a piece of wire onto them just to hold them in there while I'm welding in the top and bottom plates. I'm going to do the top plate first, then the bottom plate. I'm doing that because this part here on the boxing plate doesn't quite match the outer chassis, so I'm going to have to modify the original chassis just under here a little bit more to follow the line of the bottom of the boxing plate here. So, and the reason I'm doing the bottom last is I'll do the top plate first, get that in, have that nice and supported, and then do the bottom plate, so it all looks nice and neat, not patchy and bits added here and bits cut out there and everything like that. I want it to all flow nicely so it looks good, as well as passes inspection. I'd be lying if I didn't say I reckon I've taken these plates, both plates out a good 30 odd times just to keep grinding, bit here, bit there, massaging the metal, that sort of thing, just so it would fit perfectly inside the chassis rail, be straight, parallel and level. Level wise, I've got two feeler gauges here. This one's a 10,000th of an inch feeler gauge and this one's 3,000. On the passenger side, there's the 10,000th feeler gauge fits in, but there is contact, so it's just on 10,000ths of an inch, which is pretty thin. So level wise, that's almost perfect. And on the back half, again, the 10,000th gauge goes in. I can feel contact. It's not exactly, again, it's not exactly level, but it's only 10,000ths of an inch. Line wise, it's pretty well matched up. I've used these matching marks here on the C-notch plates to level it up, and it's pretty much spot on. With the driver's side, however, the 10,000ths of an inch doesn't fit, but the 3,000ths doesn't fit on that side, doesn't fit on that side, so there is, that's, I'd have to say that's pretty much perfect. Towards the rear of the C-notch on the driver's side, the 3,000ths just fits in there. There is definite contact between the straight edge and the plate, so that you could pretty much say that's just about perfect as well. It's going to be hot here over the next few days. Today was in the very high 30s, and the next 2 or 3 days is going to be in the low 40s. This shed turns into an oven once it gets above 32, 33. So today kind of struggled a little bit. Tomorrow and the next couple of days, I'm not going to bother doing anything. I don't want to work in an oven. So, but also then I've got to go away for work for a week. So I'm going to leave it there. And when I come back, as I said, I will start on the top plates first, and then I will fix the chassis down the bottom at the front there, at the rear of the C-notch, the chassis amalgamation with the plate there, that's pretty much spot on. I don't really need to do anything to that, maybe just a little bit of massaging of the C-notch plates just to sort of blend it in a little bit better. But yeah, next video I'll be putting in the top plates. I'm only going to weld the top plate to the outer C-notch, not the boxing plate, because as I said, I've got to get a certified welder to come in and just do the inner fish plates on the chassis on both ends, and both sides, front and back. So that's why I want these inner plates to be removable, so I can take them out, get the welder, he'll come in, does whatever he needs to do in the on the chassis and fish plates, put the inner boxing plates straight on. It'll have the top plate there ready to go, so he can just weld all that up, weld all the inner plates in, and then I can cut out this support square, and the chassis should be strong enough to hold itself, and then I can start on the bottom plates. While I do that, or while I'm waiting on that, I will probably get stuck into the front end as well. So when I do get the welder here, he'll be doing the back and the front at the same time. Just he comes from a fair way away, so he doesn't want to be making heaps of trips. He said if I do it all right, we can get it all done in one day, which saves him time and saves me money. So for now, that's it for the video, and I'll see you in the next one.